and I'm not SpongeBob.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and the Technicolor rainbow in between, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I, of course, am your host, Chris Boingo Ryder Gaston, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner in this venture,
The Vacuuminator, reminding you, trans rights.
hell yeah. Trans lefts too, we don't want them only having one hand.
That's true. That's a very important detail.
That's a very shitty
right
joke.
there.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for that joke. But yes.
That's that sounds like a tweet in that meme format that's going around right now. Trans rights implies the existence of trans lefts.
Yeah. But this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, the podcast where me and Vac talk about wrestling that we liked during the week. Hey. And this
is?
It is! And this is Modular Media!
Oh, crap! I thought this was the first episode of This Week in Toku. We're supposed to be recording that soon. It's a new show on Modular Media that begins airing next week. It's going to be discussing all things Tokusatsu every week, every Tuesday night. You're going to want to subscribe so you can tune in.
See, here's the thing. I was about to go on a shill spree, and then you just immediately jump on a different kind of shill spree.
Beat you to it! Yeah, yeah, yeah!
But yeah, because this is Modular Media, where we do a bunch of podcasts, a bunch of different content, with more stuff on the way. Hint, hint. Possibilities. But also, on Fridays, as always, you can come and check out Analytical Fanboys, our premiere podcast. Quote, unquote.
On hiatus at the moment, much like my content.
Yeah, but right now, in the meantime, we are doing a couple mini-series. Right now, we're doing A Little Better Than a Pod, A Little Worse Than a Cast.
And
switch that, Little Worse Than a Pod, A Little Better Than a Cast, where we talk about WandaVision week by week, as we kind of discuss what happened in the episode, and they ask me questions about what happens in Marvel Comics if I have any relevant info that could be used to explain some of the goings-on. It's me, Vac here, and of course, our good friend, Buster, Bluey.
Yes.
They have a variety of
Miriam.
online handles. Yep, Miriam. She has a variety of online handles. It's just how this thing goes.
Much like Matt Hardy, she is multifarious.
Yes, multifarious. Should we go ahead and kind of like start talking about the next miniseries podcast we're doing?
Basically, if we can't corral Snowcone back into doing Analytical Fanboys by the time WandaVision ends, I've been pushing this name really hard, so I'm just gonna say this is the official name, and they'll have to fight me later.
No. I say it's official too.
Podcast.
Yes, America's podcast. Where we're gonna talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's gonna be fun.
It looks so good.
Oh, it looks so good. But we're not talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're talking about a different kind of stunt show spectacular. We're talking about professional wrestling and all the goings on there. Because are we gonna do toys all at once in the middle like we've been doing?
I mean, that's up to you. You're the host here.
Yeah, I say let's just put
card in the order that they appear.
We're just gonna do all the toys in the middle as a little quick capitalist break.
They are the piss match before the main event.
Yes. So, real quick, I didn't watch BTE. But I did
reoccurring joke.
But I did go over what you put in here. There's some interesting things. So why don't you tell the people what happened to BTE? And by tell the people, I mean tell me.
Okay, so BTE opened this week with a segment just in the reoccurring thing of opening, it's 3 weeks in a row now. I think it's kind of like the new reoccurring Young Bucks bit on BT. It's just the Good Brothers are doing something stupid in front of a green screen. The Young Bucks walk in and they try to go like, hey, you did kind of a weird thing on Dynamite last week. You're too kooky and lewd and, oh, we're serious people now. And they go, you're not serious people. Too sweet us. Yeah, okay. It's a whole thing where like the Young Bucks are clearly a little embarrassed about being friends with the Good Brothers now that they're serious business people with a serious wrestling company to run. Um, but they're still their friends, and they're still very big, very scary wrestle boys. So they don't want to upset them too terribly much.
Yeah,
Um,
it's to me just seeing all these. I've seen clips of it, and I've heard you talk about it. It feels like the Young Bucks went to college, and now they're back in their hometown, hanging out with their high school friends, and they're going like, oh God, we used to do this shit."
yeah,
Ah,
I mean, if you want an example of how oh god we used to do this shit, it can get for them. This particular segment ended with the reveal that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were buck ass nude, and they helicopter dicked while Luke Gallows screamed about how Carl Anderson's grandmother is a gilf.
oh God, is that going to be the new
Yeah,
thing they try to get over after Hot Asian Wife kind of went south?
yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think wasn't the last statement of that is that they were trying to work it out?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like to pry on that stuff. I just saw that thing come across my dash when it
Yeah,
first happened, so I haven't read any of the updates. But I assume since there hasn't been a huge ostracized Carl Anderson movement, that everything's kind of sort of okay.
yeah. I mean, cheating's a completely different kind of thing to sexual and emotional abuse.
Yeah.
You know, so I can kind of, for lack of a better way of describing it, forgive someone who cheats being back in the industry. It's a different. That's a shame on you. Don't do it again. Versus shame on us for ever thinking you were a good person.
Yeah.
There's.
I mean, do we really need to get into Edge and Matt Hardy again?
Yeah, no. They've worked it out. They're friends. That whole situation's a weird blip in professional wrestling history that is fucking fascinating, but only when you're talking about it. But we're not talking about that.
I hope one day there's just a segment
Hold on.
when Matt Hardy is.
I'm being hailed.
Okay.
We're back. Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I hope one day when Matt Hardy is inevitably back in WWE, because he said he was gonna go back someday to get his Hall of Fame ring. I hope we just get a segment of like him and Edge and Jeff chilling out backstage and just like telling stories with maybe some young up and comer, and then all of a sudden like somebody brings up, hey, didn't you guys like date the same girl for a little while, and neither of you ended up marrying that girl, and it was like a huge controversy, and they were like, oh yeah, that's how we became friends. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah. No. You know who needs to be there too? Lita. Because she would, like, and they're all just shooting the shit. It's just like, oh man, remember when we like this? That would have never worked. What the fuck were we all thinking? You know, that kind of vibe and attitude.
That'd be so good, and it'd pop so many people who are like 10 years older than us.
Yeah, I mean, we know the history. We'd get a chuckle pop. It's like,
we know the history, but we didn't live the history.
Yeah, nah. But we know it. We know of it. Mm-hmm. We did not experience the old wizardry, but we know of it.
But getting back on track with BTE, there was kind of a through line in this episode of the Dark Order making Valentine's Day cards, and the main segment is just all the guys in the lair doing arts and crafts and like being like, come on guys, we gotta come up with some really good lines if we want to get our crush. We gotta really focus up here and do it. And it seems like they're trying to get Anna to be more of a team player, because like Stu Grayson reads his card and it's clearly about the budding romance between him and Anna Jay. But then when we come back to them a few segments later, they go to give the cards to their crushes, and everyone except for one member walks right past Anna Jay and goes up to Wardlow and starts giving him the cards.
Fucking.
And he reads all of them out, and he's like, "Oh, this is sweet. Thank you. Go on. Oh, very nice, very nice. Get the fuck out of here."
I haven't received any positive reaffirmation ever since I started working for MJF. This is giving me a little hope. Thank you.
Yeah. And keep in mind, these are extremely lewd Valentine's Day cards. Like, Evil Uno's literally said, "You have juicy thighs. Be my Valentine."
Fucking beautiful.
So that was a whole thing, especially when, and this is going straight to the end of the episode, because like I said, this was a through line. They kept coming back to this. Alan Angels is the last one in line, and Wardlow's like, so what did you write? And he's like, "Oh, sorry, man, this actually isn't for you." And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no problem." And Alan Angels goes back into the locker room, and he goes up to Hangman. And Hangman's getting ready to leave, and he's like, "Hey, Adam, I know things didn't work out between you and the Dark Order and everything, but I still think you're a really cool guy, and I hope we can hang out and be friends. And anyway, I made you this." Or no, he starts to go, "I made you this," and then Hangman's like, "Oh, I gotta go get my bag. I'll be right back." And he goes, and Alan like starts panicking, and he just leaves the card on the chair Hangman was sitting in and leaves. And then as a post-credit scene in the episode, Matt Hardy walks up, sees the card, and tears it up.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that was after the segment that we chronologically get next in order of first appearances, where Matt Hardy is basically in the bar. He's calling Hangman and gets voicemail, and he sucks up to him big time. He's like, "Oh man, I know you don't want to be in a tag team, but that match was so great. We gotta hang out and celebrate and do something," setting up the Dynamite segment. And then he hangs up and turns around, and Private Party is right there, and they're like, "Matt, what the fuck? Are you cheating on us? Are you cheating on us with a guy who owes us $12? Because remember that from BT 4 months ago?" And he's like, "Wait, he owes you money? That's serious business. Don't worry, I'll take care of that next time I see him. We don't mess around with money in the Matt Hardy brand." So that was cool little character building. And then he also teased that they were going to be on Impact the next night. Then we got another segment of the Good Brothers and the Bucks talking, I believe just after the tag with the Good Brothers. It's set right after the main event of Dynamite last week. And the Good Brothers are like, "What the hell? Why is Kenta here? Is the forbidden door open?" And they're like, "It's kind of open." And they're like, "Is Tonga booked?" No, Tonga's not booked. We would never book Tonga.
They're fucking working us now.
That guy's an asshole. That guy's an asshole.
They're all working us. They have to be.
Oh, yeah. And like, I kind of got in on it this week because Tonga made a tweet that ended up in my timeline, so I just retweeted it and said, "Wow, I guess the only kind of grapes they have in Japan are sour." And he's yet to reply because I fucking don't exist to those guys.
Yeah.
Um, but it is basically a whole thing where the Bucks are like, "Hey, you interfered in that tag match. We wanted to get the dream match with you guys." And they're like, "Oh, sorry, we were just trying to screw over Private Party because we got heat with them. We didn't mean to mess you guys over." And then the Bucks leave, and they're like, "Yeah, we were trying to mess them over. We didn't want to have that match. We hate working. Oh God, I can't believe we're double booked on Dynamite. Oh, this sucks."
So basically, we're a couple of lazy assholes who only just want to come in and fucking get our catchphrases over and sell T-shirts.
Exactly.
Basically, what everybody complained the Bucks were. The Good Brothers.
I think that's kind of the joke.
The Good Brothers are everything that people hate about the Bucks, without any of like the nuance the Bucks bring.
The Good Brothers are exactly as evil as Jim Cornette thinks the Young Bucks are.
Oh my god, real quick. Did you see the fucking Jim Cornette shit with Maki Ito?
I have not kept up with Jim Cornette. Oh, didn't she tell him to like go fuck himself and die or something?
No. I don't know about that, but like what happened was Jim Cornette said something along the lines of course, Kenny Omega's bringing more of his fetish fuel to AEW, and everybody's going...
Excuse you, sir. He's bringing more of my fetish fuel to AEW.
Oh, very much so. But he was like, and like, I don't get why this Maki Ito chick is over. She's tiny. All the general racist Jim Cornette shit when he talks about Japanese Joshi wrestlers.
Back in my day, wrestlers were big muscle boys. There was no such thing as women.
And he said, like, she's like the deity of shit or something like that. And Maki Ito just went, "I am the deity of shit," on Twitter. And it's just like, of course she's gonna fucking love that someone called her that. Fuck yeah.
I mean, I did watch the Maki Ito video you sent me a couple weeks ago.
It makes like you get it now, don't you?
He seems like a wonderful soul.
Maki Ito, Maki fucking Ito. Can't wait to see her on Monday on AEW's YouTube channel.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Then we got probably the best segment of Dynamite this week because Chris Statlander goes up to Brandon Cutler and she's like, "Could you film me doing a thing real quick? I kind of want to do a thing for Valentine's Day." And she goes up to Orange Cassidy, who's sitting slumped over in a chair like this with sunglasses
like
on.
Orange Cassidy would.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Hey, Orange, I don't know if you remember, but we kind of connected a few times on BTE before, so I wrote you a song. It's nothing special or real good, but I just thought I'd sing it for you." And it's like a legit, well-written original song that she plays acoustic guitar and sings right there and then. It's really cute. And then she like gets super embarrassed immediately after doing it and runs off. And Brandon Cutler's like, "Dude, go after her. Why aren't you going after?" Oh no.
He's asleep.
Takes off sunglasses and he's asleep.
Oh, that's sad.
And then we got probably the most unintentionally hilarious BT segment in a long time of Sammy Guevara having a trivia game where basically he badly describes the plot of a movie and you have to guess the title of the movie. It's a number one contendership. Whoever can guess the most titles before he runs out of questions is number one contender. It ends up being a freeway tie between a bunch of guys from his blog and Brandon Cutler. But the funny thing about it is the whole time Marco Stunt is just like, "This is the stupidest fucking game ever. You are the worst This is Sammy Guevara's best friend backstage going like, "You are the worst fucking champion of this entire belt. You suck so. I cannot believe this is what you came up with for a number one contendership. Oh my god! And like Griff Garrison's just sitting there, like he doesn't guess anything. He doesn't even try. And at one point, Sammy's like, "What, Marco? Why are you flipping out? Look, Griff. Griff's having fun." And Griff's like, "Dude, I have sex with women. I don't watch movies. I don't care about this." uh, and then they have to somebody is recording in the next room over from them, so they have to move to the Dark Order layer to finish the game. And as they're doing it, Sammy or Marco Stunt starts throwing a tantrum again, and then all of a sudden Tony Schiavone just walks in and goes, "What the fuck is going on in here?" And Marco Stunt's like, "Oh, shut the hell up, Schiavone. Nobody wants to listen to your crap right now." Oh, and Tony Schiavone immediately comes back with, "Well, you have to listen to it right now, you little motherfucker." It's like, Grandpa's swearing. Grandpa's swearing.
Was he shoot angry or was he working?
I think a bit of both.
Okay.
Because
he probably was like going. He was probably going like, "Oh, it's a little loud. Can you turn it down?" And then he saw the camera. It's like, "Oh, okay. You're doing a thing. Let me play into it."
Mm-hmm. But they finished the game, or rather, they gave up at the freeway tie. And then, like, right as Sammy's about to shut off the camera, Tony Schiavone comes back in and goes, "Hey, guys, real quick, I just wanted to remind you, we're recording something with Thunder Rosa in the next room, so could you please shut the fuck up?"
Because they're probably filming something genuine with Thunder Rosa for Dynamite.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Daly's place seems like a fucking madhouse right now.
Yeah, that's probably why there's rumors of them moving to a bigger stadium in Miami. But that was BT. And then we had a few little tiny morsels of wrestling news throughout the week. ROH finally started a new weekly show. I watched the 2 clips they put out, and it was pretty good. Seems like typical ROH of just like, here's 8 extremely good Wrestle Boys, all in a tag match, and it immediately goes to shit and devolves into complete anarchy.
It is indie booking wrestling to an nth degree with a little bit better production.
Mm-hmm. Also, Flip Gordon has a huge braided beard and a top knot now, and it's like, you were a baby the last time I saw you on BTE, sir. What happened?
He had to he's punished Flip now because he's in Ring of Honor and he had to deal with a certain Whoop Whoop.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's right. He was booked as Marty Scurll's best friend for a little while. Hey, you know that big muscle boy we liked in that Moxley match a few weeks ago? He joined the Nightmare family. Good for him. He got a sponsorship deal.
Yeah. Basically, like, I saw on Reddit, people were going like, "Oh, what the fuck's Nightmare Family? Is fucking stupid. They don't even come like it's not a faction. It doesn't function as a faction."
It's mainly because Ollie Davis has done it on the Wrestle Talk News the last 2 weeks.
But like people were pointing out, it's like, yeah, but in like real combat sports, that's how a stable works. You watch MMA, and some guys are part of the same team because they work out in the same gym and they like work together there, but they don't come out with each other. They don't help each other out there. No, it's just like backstage working there. Yeah, we work together, but you're kind of on your own out there. And that's kind of how Nightmare Family works.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's foreign for wrestling fans, but it's interesting.
Foreign for American wrestling fans because that's fucking how Chaos works in Japan.
Oh, really? I need to watch more Japan. Speaking of more Japan, I did watch some current Japan for the first time ever. It was Mox cutting a promo on Kenta. This is a solid little promo. Just a solid, like, hey, I know this guy from way back when, before either of us were in WWE. He was a big, scary badass then. If we're going to fight for this title, he better be a big, scary badass now.
Yeah. But, I mean, genuinely, did you see that New Japan World, basically the Japanese PR part of New Japan, tweeted a fucking AEW clip, like full on. Nope, they're working together.
Nice. I hadn't seen that. That's cool.
Like, and I saw some of the Japanese tweets. I did the auto translate thing, and they were excited for it, so that was cool. God damn.
But then there was Impact as well, and a few interesting things from Impact this week. There was a big multi-man #1 contender match for the X Division title, which was won by Trey Miguel, who last week, or like 2 weeks ago, I think it was, he re-debuted for Impact. He had been on the Indies or something for a little while, and I was like, I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. He's a weird tattoo boy, whatever. He really impressed in this match. He's got really good, really quick, solid moves in his belt. And he became the #1 contender. And Sami Callihan, who I don't think is the X Division champion right now, but is just kind of Mr. Call People Out. He was immediately like, hey, you flaked on Impact. And now you're back and you're immediately in a title picture? Fuck you. I've been dedicated to this company for years. Fight me, bitch.
Bitch.
Yep.
That's how you know when wrestling's serious, when they call someone a bitch.
Exactly.
That's just wrestling 101. First they teach you how to run the ropes, then they teach you how to say bitch.
But Tony Khan did another paid ad thing where he basically, he's just trying on different heel personas like jackets every week. This week he was Chris Jericho because he went on about how people have been asking him for so long, when's he going to open the forbidden door? And he's always been going, I don't know where it is. I can't open it if I can't find it. And then he realized he is the forbidden door. And he had to open himself to new experiences. And thanks to Impact, he's doing that now. He's appearing on Impact every week. He's making deals with the Japanese. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Tony Khan is the forbidden door, and he's open to all possibilities now.
I mean,
and it was great.
Kind of goofy in a sense, but also makes total sense when you realize that AEW is kind of becoming the nexus of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody kind of works with AEW.
Insert joke about the WWE faction, the Nexus here.
Yeah.
And then Black Taurus debuted for Decay. I posted this clip. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
This guy is fucking amazing, dude. He's like the size of Keith Lee, but he's dressed like a fucking Minotaur, complete with like a realistic luchador bull mask. And he moves like Rey Fenix. Like, he did a fucking arm whip on Caleb with a K that was insanely quick. Like, this, I don't know how nobody's been talking about this dude's AAA work, because that's where he was from. He was just Tauros in AAA. But he's someone to watch, because he could be a huge high flyer in the next couple of years.
So you're saying Black Taurus versus Luchasaurus win?
I mean, yes.
Yes.
Yes. And then there was
I was trying to go fucking
Beast Wars Megatron?
No. Kind of, but no. He played It. He played Frankenfurter in Rocky Horror. He played the Devil in Legend.
Tim Curry?
Tim Curry. Because that Megatron's kind of Tim Curry-ish.
Yeah. Definitely.
Space!
God damn it. But then we got a contract signing for the No Surrender title match between Rich Swann and Tommy Dreamer, where Moose came in and interrupted, and he was like, hey, why is Tommy Dreamer jumping the line? I'm the TNA champion. Fight me so we can unify these belts, Rich Swann. And Swan's like, shut the fuck up, dude. I am so done with your shit. This belt says Impact. We are in Impact Wrestling. I am the Impact Champion. Step the hell off. And Tommy Dreamer's just like, kids, shut the fuck up. Listen, I've been where you've been. I've won a bunch of titles a bunch of times from a bunch of big names. I've made history multiple times by doing so. And I think at No Surrender, I'm going to do it again because Rich Swann, I'm taking that title from you. And Moose, once I have the Impact title, you will get your title match, and I'll take that title from you. And I'm going to set a new example for champions that they don't get into stupid pissing contests, and that we are about supporting each other here at Impact Wrestling. We're about creating a new generation and positive, because for every two guys like you, there's a couple dozen guys in the back just waiting for their opportunity. All a bunch of dreamers just like I used to be before somebody took a chance on me. And I'm going to start taking a chance on new people when I get that belt. And it was just like such a solid babyface old man, I'm going to get that title promo. And it made me really sad because I know that's not where they're going. I know they're going to make Kenny Omega take the belt off of Rich Swann. Or rather, I hope.
How much money do you want to put on Kenny Omega or the Good Bros messing up the title match so it stays on Rich Swann so Kenny Omega can go up against Rich Swann?
Yeah, that'll probably happen. But speaking of the Good Brothers, they had a title match in the main event of Impact this week against James Storm and Chris Sabin. Took me a minute to remember his name. And it was a pretty solid little match, but it ended in Private Party coming in and interfering and basically getting the match not thrown out, but what's the term? Disqualified in favor of Storm and Sabin. But the Impact officials were basically like, yeah, we're not doing a title change because of interference. This is bullshit. It's now a triple threat at the pay-per-view. So Private Party, you tried to fuck these guys over. Now you're gonna be in even deeper shit at our pay-per-view.
Yep.
Kind of like a solid little book. I like that.
Yep. But now, let's talk about capitalistic excess.
Boys! Because, oh my god, everyone, Jazzwares has more leaks than my car did last summer when I needed to get a new oil tank.
God damn. More leaks than fucking Hasbro and Transformers.
Yeah, it's insane. But we will get to that as we get to... Actually, do you want to do AEW or WWE figures first?
Let's do WWE because we don't have a ton of things to talk about there because we're not invested in the product right now. But one thing, that Aleister Black...
Because WWE Elite Collection Series 85, Ultimate Edition 8, the 2021 Elite 2-pack, and this year's Fan Takeover Series. We got the final product shots for all of those. And Elite Collection Series 85 is Aleister Black with the big spiky robe, kind of like the last look he had before they de-Aleister Blacked him. So if you want a good Aleister Black, this might be your last chance to get one unless he ends up going to AEW.
Oh, dude. Out of re-signing with WWE, where they have nothing for him, versus going to AEW, where he can pitch Lance Archer, Miro.
But like, he could go to Impact or Japan if he wants to.
Yeah,
the man has options.
I think though he would probably go to AEW. Because it's still both in Florida. He moved to Florida. He's in Orlando.
That's true.
That's a slight benefit for AEW being headquartered in Jacksonville. This is like, oh, you're already in Orlando. You can just come on up. It's Jacksonville. It's like, what, 3-hour drive? It ain't bad.
It's a quick morning commute for you.
Yeah. Hey, you drive in on a Tuesday. You leave on a Thursday. you listen to a fucking audiobook on the way back and forward, you're golden, man. You're golden.
I mean, when you put it like that.
Yeah. But like Lance Archer, Miro, Orange Cassidy versus Aleister Black, he would be Tommy End then, because he would probably revert to his ending name.
But like Darby Allin versus Tommy End.
Oh man, that'd be fucking dope. Pack.
But getting back to these plastic playthings.
Yeah.
Also in Series 85 is Liv Morgan in her, hey, look, I'm a lesbian now. Except, no, we're not actually doing that look.
Yeah.
Undertaker in the gear he wore during the Boneyard match. Yay!
It's a newer version of American Badass, which some people really enjoy. So.
I mean, I did really enjoy watching that match with you, so I might get it for that sentimental value, but it's definitely on the maybe later pile for me. Bray Wyatt, a new version of Funhouse Bray, which has the Hurt Heel gloves, and it's in a slightly different color scheme, and it comes with Huskus the Pig Boy, who we didn't get in the ringside exclusive set, so I kind of need this, because I kind of want all the puppets, even though there's no really good way to display them all. Karrion Kross getting his first figure in Elites. The robe they gave him looks so dumb on him. It's huge. He looks like the world's most vapid Jedi. And then Becky Lynch, based off of her becoming the mom. Like, nice. Literally, it's meant to be recreating that segment.
Nice. Have they ever made a Becky Lynch where she has her nose bloody, just that fit head sculpt? Because that'd be great.
I don't think so, because Mattel aims way more for kids than they do collectors. But like they could, I think they could do that as a ringside exclusive, especially now that Blood Brothers is a set that exists.
Yeah.
But then Ultimate Edition 8 is Edge in his look at when he returned at last year's Royal Rumble. Remember that 50 years ago?
Yep.
And I enjoyed that moment, certainly. And like, I know Edge now. I know Edge more as old man Edge than I do actual young
rated R
thing
superstar.
People remember it. Yeah, I know old man Edge more than I know rated R superstar Edge. So I might get this as my de facto Edge. And then we're finally getting an Ultimate Macho Man Randy Savage, which is based off of a gear I believe he wore during that very short period at the beginning of Raw's existence where he was still active in the ring. So it's like this really obnoxious white and green jacket and hat, but underneath is like a classic beige on yellow Macho Man gear. So I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I wish the jacket matched the gear underneath, but I understand it's creating an actual outfit that exists. So I'm going to get this as my de facto Macho Man, but I'm always going to have that niggling little thing of like, but the jacket doesn't go with the outfit, and I picture Macho Man having a jacket that goes with his outfit.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fashion designer. Kind of.
I can see what you wear, no.
And then the 2021 Elite 2-pack is going to be Triple H versus Jeff Hardy based on their title match from the mid-2000s, which looks neat, looks fairly accurate. I know nothing about that feud, so I don't give a shit about this.
Yeah.
And then Fan Takeover 5 is just an interesting mishmash of stuff because you have X-Pac and NWO gear, Randy Orton babyface, I just won the world title for the first time, Randy Orton. In his prime, flip the switch Edge, and then Johnny Gargano in his Wolverine gear.
Christian, not Edge.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Christian. Flip the switch Christian. But then Johnny Gargano in his Wolverine themed gear. So it's like three really weird, based on older Thing figures, and then a hypercurrent figure. Well, not hypercurrent, but like very new figure that I'm probably going to get because I still don't have a Johnny Gargano, and that's like in my top 3 favorite Johnny Gargano looks.
Yeah.
But yeah, solid offerings all the way around. But as usual with WWE figures, it's like, yeah, there's like 2 in each of these sets that I want, and everything else can be.
But are you gonna get this John Cena though?
No, because it's probably gonna go for thousands of dollars if it ever pops up on eBay. Because Major Melon John Cena is a thing that exists. Because for those of you who watched the sports ball game this past Sunday, there was a very big, very highly promoted commercial of John Cena promoting a new Mountain Dew flavor. And there was like if you count all the Mountain Dew bottles in this commercial and you're the first one to tweet the correct amount, you'll win a prize pack. And I imagine because you can't accurately count that, they made like 50 of them. First 50 people who guessed win the prize pack. And the prize pack is like a watermelon looking calculator, some kind of book, and then a WWE Elite Collection John Cena made to look like John Cena looks in this commercial. And like people zoomed in on it. It's legit the Mattel Elite Collection mold. So this must have been some kind of collaboration with WWE and Mattel. But this is a thing that exists. It's a hyper rare John Cena variant, and it's gonna go for insane amounts of money on the aftermarket.
God damn. It's fucking weird. It's hilarious though.
Speaking of interesting John Cena variants, we also got another one announced because hot off the heels of the Legends series, Target exclusive John Cena that's themed off after the Firefly Funhouse match, Ringside announced that they're going to have an exclusive John Cena figure based off of him in that match during the segment where he was a member of the NWO, which is cool. It's a really nice throw that, only like hyper fans are going to want this figure, so it makes sense as a Ringside exclusive. But like, even though I love the Funhouse match, that look is not the look I think of Cena in from that match. I think of either the debut Cena look he had or him as Johnny Largemeat.
Yeah.
So like, I'm going to pass on this for now. But, Ringside, if you want to do me up an Elite Collection Johnny Largemeat, I'd jump on that.
Well, we did get some AEW figure news, though.
Yeah, we got some sporadic little spits and spouts here and there. First off, there was a whole thing this past weekend where Jeremy Padower sent out just like a casual tweet just being like, hey, look at these vintage Star Wars boxes I have. Aren't these cool? Sitting on his desk, like in the corner of the image, where the main thing in the image was his computer far away, and on the monitor was a mock-up of a suited Cody Rhodes figure. And everyone was like, and like for 10 seconds, everyone went, oh, cool, suited Cody Rhodes coming. That's a nice subtle wait a minute, we recognize that mock-up. And it was a Photoshop of the mock-up for a Legends Series Ultimate Warrior that's in Targets right now based off of his final appearance in WWE when he was on Raw that one night, the night before he got in a car crash and died.
Oof.
That's a figure that exists. So that was a Photoshop, and everybody immediately called Jeremy Padower out on it, and then he was like, okay, I was going to play the long game on this, but here, I'm revealing officially, we're doing a 2-pack of suited Cody Rhodes and Britt Baker based off of the most recent episode of The Waiting Room, which led to Britt Baker freaking out on Twitter in character, because she's had this whole campaign about why don't I have an action figure yet. And then, like, a day later, he was like, so we played a joke on Britt yesterday. It was very funny. It was very cool. But in all seriousness, that Cody figure is not real. But the Britt Baker mock-up is. There will be a Britt Baker 2-pack at Ringside at some point this year. So what do you think? Because it can only be one of two things. It's either Britt and Reba or it's Britt and Tony.
Or it's Britt and Swole. And you
True.
do it as, like, first big women's feud thing.
True. See, I really want Swole, so I want to agree with you there. But like, I feel like everybody's gonna expect Britt and Reba, but they're gonna go for Britt and Tony
I can
because
see that.
That's the moment she turned heel. That promo.
Yeah, I can either any of those three would make sense. But hey,
Mm-hmm.
Britt getting a figure, great.
And I mean, also they did tease that they were going to be doing announcers and refs soon enough.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I can't wait to get Alex Marvez. So you can just
Mm.
so I can just hide him in weird places and just like, why the fuck is this guy here? Oh, he
He's
just shows
just
up
in the background of your Marvel Legends display interviewing Tony Stark.
because he just shows up at random.
Yeah. Um, but then also in AEW figure news, they unveiled the first wave of their micro brawlers, which are up for pre-order on Pro Wrestling Tees right now. If you're not aware, micro brawlers are basically Pro Wrestling Tees' toy line. It's kind of Funko Pops, but kind of not. It's way more detailed. It's a different kind of deformed style. And it's basically if you have a store on Pro Wrestling Tees and you're an active wrestler, sooner or later you're gonna get a micro brawler. Like there's been a ton of Impact and ROH ones, a few New Japan ones, that whole kind of a lot of Triple H or Triple A ones. And this is the first wave of AEW ones, which consists of Hikaru Shida, Jon Moxley, Brody Lee, Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy, Britt Baker, and Darby Allin. Um,
All
I'm
good
not going to
picks.
pre-order these because they're technically not action figures, so they're not my kind of
They're
thing.
small collectibles for people who like small collectibles.
Yeah, they're little desk mementos, or if you're like one of those YouTubers, there's something to put on your shelf in the background.
Yeah, it's the thing you have in your cubicle to show people I like wrestling, but I'm not gonna have like
I'm
a.
not weird.
It's just a cute little like, oh, that's neat.
Look at this tiny Japanese lady and the belt she's holding. Isn't she cute?
Tiny Japanese lady. But
Oh,
also
I
these
didn't
are some
even
good
realize what I
picks.
implied there.
And they're good picks. But before we get
Yeah.
into Dynamite,
There's wait. There's one other bit of
oh,
news. The thing that happened today,
oh
because
yeah, oh yeah.
Amazon.com because Amazon hasn't had direct lines to buy Unrivaled Collection yet, but people have been wondering because inevitably they get every action figure line because Amazon is a horrible capitalistic entity that will consume all enterprises.
Yep.
Um, they kind of put up some listings for Unrivaled Collection pre-orders and then very quickly took them down. And most of it was stuff we already knew about. But one thing that popped up was AEW Unrivaled Collection Series 7. We're on Series 4, mind you.
God.
Series 7, Brian Cage.
Oh.
And people are going like, oh, this is probably just a clerical error, probably just somebody who knows the show was putting up these listings and blah, blah, blah. No. Amazon has made mistakes like these in the past, and it's always something that inevitably gets confirmed. So Brian Cage probably going to be revealed at some point in the summer.
Yeah. But
Uh,
Brian Cage is not bad. Brian Cage getting a figure, that's pretty dope.
oh no! I'm super excited about this. I definitely want that figure. One of the I think one of the key factions I want on my shelf is Team Taz.
Ooh. But here's the thing, are you gonna get when are you gonna be able to fully get Team Taz? Because when are they ever gonna make a Hook figure?
Whenever he starts, probably 6 months after he starts actually wrestling.
Yeah. But as I was saying, let's take a pause and take a piss break real quick.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so we'll be right back, folks. And we're back though, boys. All right. So now we're gonna talk about Dynamite. How do you wanna break this down?
I mean, there's only really one way we can. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Hey. So, first things first, we have the bad boy, Joey Janela, going up against one Darby Allin.
Darby Allington, I'll have you know.
Yeah. And as you wrote, Darby wins with a pin.
Did I?
Yeah.
I might have been a bit of a drinky boy last night.
It's fine. But it was a fun match. Really cool.
Yeah, I was expecting this to be the semi-main event, and for them to do like a semi-death match to lead into the full-on death match that the main event had been booked as. But them opening this, and then it was just a completely technical match, was really cool and was like a really nice reminder of like, oh yeah, both these guys are extremely good wrestlers.
Not just deathmatchy people, like they're good at chain wrestling and holds and that whole thing, and it worked really well to get over Joey Janela. For lack of a better way of describing it, putting him back in the upper mid card.
Mm-hmm.
Because for lack of a better, he kind of slipped for a bit, which is understandable. They were trying to build new stars, but like,
yeah, and he was doing stuff for his home promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And also like. This even more so did that for Darby Allin for me, because like I completely forgot that Darby Allin could wrestle because all he's been doing is standing next to Sting for the last 6 weeks.
Dear God, that whole storyline picked up this episode.
It kind of did and it kind of didn't.
Hey, picking up from zero is better than nothing.
It's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
It has some momentum now. There's something intriguing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a good match. Darby won with a coffin drop, retained the TNT Championship. Goddamn, Darby looked like, not necessarily a wreck, but he looked fucking like, I went through the ringer and I deserve this belt right now because I won, because this was a hard-fought match.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed, and I don't know if you picked up on this as well, or if this has even already been going on and I just didn't pick up on it till now, but he had like less face paint than normal. Usually he does the whole side. This, it was like a little bit on his jaw and a little bit in this kind of in his boob area. But it's almost like being with like a subtle kind of hint, and this is probably me reading way too much into it, but it's like a subtle hint that, hey, being around Sting, who, yes, has face paint, but is really just a guy, it's kind of making him a little more human, a little more alive.
I can see that, maybe. But it also may just be like, I didn't want to fucking deal with all that today.
Probably.
You know, I just don't want to fucking deal with that right now.
Mm-hmm. But then, and I guess we'll do these two things together. We got basically the announcers explaining who Kenta is for anybody who couldn't keep up with Excalibur while he was tapping into the Speed Force at the end of last week's show. Come on!
Oh my God! It's Kenta of New Japan. He has a brave guy. He's challenging. Oh my God!
Yeah, exactly. That was it. I
mean, at least he's explaining things. It's not just
Blade.
Butcher.
Blade.
Butcher.
Blade!
And the bunny. What is Blade doing here? He should be in Marvel Comics fighting vampires.
That meme will always live on.
Or be in the Avengers. Blade's on the Avengers right now. You know that?
I did not. That's interesting. Are they helping him with the vampires?
No.
Assholes. But then we go out back where Jon Moxley is doing a whole promo. He's talking about how, like, yeah, Kenta attacked me last week. Wasn't really a surprise for me. Kenta's been saying how he wants to beat me up in Japan for weeks now. But
even though he lives in Orlando.
Yeah. Time for talk is over. Hey, look at this very nice IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship belt that I have. Uh, he's got to beat me for it. I don't think he can, but that doesn't really matter because tonight we're doing a big stupid lights out match that's just for fun. And it was a solid Mox promo, not his best, but solid Mox work.
So here's the thing: Mox at his weakest, it's about a B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd say this was like a B plus.
Yeah, it was B plus. It got over the IWGP American belt to an audience who may not know about it.
It is a very pretty belt.
All the IWGP belts are fucking gorgeous. Imagine someone with the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and the AEW World Championship just one in each arm, because goddamn, they're distinct, but they have a similar vibe. Goddamn,
yeah. But like, also, I really love the AEW Championship, but I think I might be the only person in the world who thinks the IWGP Championship is over-designed.
I can understand. Hold on, let me finish eating my cookie.
Yeah.
I can understand that. To me, when I look at it, it's so layered that each individual layer kind of has its own vibe, so it doesn't feel over-designed. It just feels like it feels like each layer is its own thing, for lack of a better way of describing it.
I mean, like, it's purely a taste thing. I like a very simple, very striking design. It's part of the reason why certain tokusatsu suits are my favorites over certain others. And like,
yeah, but we also got to remember, like, my favorite Kamen Rider suit is X-Aid, and that's a goddamn the fucking disaster.
And my favorite is Amazing Mighty Kuga, which it only appeared for one episode, but is fucking beautiful because it's just shiny black on matte black on gold trim.
But like, that just really shows our difference in aesthetic. I love big, brash, fuck you kind of. I have 90s comics on my wall for a reason.
Yeah. And like, I keep getting distracted by my own display behind me and going like, is it a bit too much? Should I take some things off? Like, and like, keep in mind, like, I'm going like really far to defend the fact that I don't like the IWGP belt, but last word on this. Keep in mind, I'm the asshole who constantly, whenever people bash on the current WWE belts, go, they look fine.
They look fine for a big branded belt.
Yeah. And I don't think they're trying to be anything other than that. I think people who rag on those belts are so used to the idea of what a wrestling or what a sports championship belt should be, of this beautiful, over-designed, super expensive piece of jewelry, essentially, that they don't really get that WWE isn't even really about that side of wrestling anymore.
They're a toy
Hasn't
company.
been for a long time.
They're a toy company.
I mean, there's a reason people say WWE is the wrestling brand for kids.
Yeah, and they throw in an edgy thing for the preteens every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that there shouldn't be wrestling specifically designed and focused for kids. Kids should be allowed. Wrestling should primarily focus on an all ages demographic.
Yeah.
First and foremost, very
Which
much.
I think AEW is kind of doing.
Yeah, every once in a while they go like, "Hey, by the way, we're gonna get a little violent."
It happens, occasionally your finger just slips and there's blood everywhere.
There's blood everywhere. There's a razor to a forehead somewhere. We don't know how or where it got there.
Mm-hmm. That Kip Sapien, his mind's just always in the gutter about his lady friend.
Oh, man. I'm so glad what they're doing with that later, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But right now, we are backstage with one Samuel Guvera. I'm just gonna fuck up the names just to get a fucking pop out of you.
No, it's good. I like
it. Basically goes backstage with to the inner circle locker room and goes like, "Hey, I need to have a one-on-one with MJF. Can you guys give us a minute?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you a minute." And he says, "Camera guy, you're here for a reason. Stick around." And they start having a conversation.
Real quick,
yes,
I love that. I love that the cameras are diegetic in AEW.
Oh yeah, it's only every time they do a camera cutaway to the backstage, that someone tries to acknowledge the cameras. It's like, why are you here? Thank you for being here. There's another great one with Matt Hardy later.
Yeah.
Or Alex Marvez is there, and he's the diegetic reason for a camera.
Yeah.
Like, that, I like it. It makes sense. It's similar to Impact, where they have diegetic cameras, but it's framed as, like, a hidden camera reality show.
Yeah.
But,
how many other wrestling promotions are there where they have backstage segments and it's just two people talking and it awkwardly sets up a match?
Well, I can think of 3 brands. But MJF and Sammy Guevara start talking, and MJF is starting to trying to push his buttons, going like, you're jealous, you hate Chris Jericho, all this kind of different stuff. And Sammy Guevara does the Fred from Scooby-Doo 2 maneuver, where he says the thing, and it's like, you're just probably going to try and misquote me or something like that. Wait a second, were you recording this whole time? Fuck you. Throws the camera against the wall and goes like, nah, I'm done. I'm tired of this bullshit.
Heart, baby, face, booking.
Ooh, my God. We'll get to it later, but goddamn, that was fucking great. But it's just basically kind of going like, MJF, I'm done with your shit. Fuck you. Fuck you trying to manipulate this whole situation. There's a reason I have a camera crew here for something like that.
Mm-hmm. And then he just fucking punches MJF in the gut and walks out.
Yeah. It almost looked like a dick punch for a second. With how MJF was just reacting to it. Like, yeah. I would have loved if just MJF went like, he got my dick!
Instead of tights, he's just wearing bandages around his waist.
Why you keep punching me in the dick?
I feel like that's going to be a running gag. And that would be the running gag if MJF was in WWE, is him always getting punched in the dick. Because he is a dick.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that. For like 2 weeks, but that's about it.
Yeah. But then we go back to the ring, and we get the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and Big Shoddy Lee Johnson with Arn Anderson versus Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi. So, real quick, I kind of banged my head against the wall when we talked about this match getting announced last week. I humbly apologize. I lost faith. I stumbled and fell off the path for a moment, but I have resumed the walk in the spirit, and I am now on the path of righteousness. That is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, once again, because this match is fucking awesome.
Yeah. I don't fully get why Cody Rhodes is Jesus, but all right, cool.
Because he just is. You just have to believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Brandy.
See, here's the thing. I thought you were going to the Father, the Son, and the other Son.
I really should have. That's the retcon. That was the thing.
No, I enjoyed this match. It was fun, especially with the storyline through line of Lee Johnson.
Yeah, and I think they kind of improvised it on the spot because apparently Cody tore his rotator cuff early in the match. So he tags to Lee Johnson. And keep in mind, I've never actually seen Lee Johnson wrestle before.
We've seen him get squashed.
Yeah. But I had no idea what to expect from him as a legitimate wrestler. And the dude is literally just Kofi Kingston. Like, he was doing that kind of shit all over the place and completely going to town on these two jobber heels. And it was wonderful and amazing. And then when he got that roll up, and I was like, oh, cool, he got the win. I wasn't expecting that. Like, I was looking at another tab because I thought we were at the midpoint of the match, but no, it was the final sequence. And then they go up to the stage, and, like, Nightmare Family people start coming out, and they're like, it's Lee Johnson's first win in AEW. Isn't this amazing? And I was like, oh, that's why they plugged Cody's Black History shirt at the beginning of the match. This is the obligatory AEW Black History Month segment.
I mean, it didn't feel like that.
I mean, I didn't think that in a cynical way. I was like, oh, this is a nice, wholesome thing to do for Black History Month.
But it wasn't the fact that Lee Johnson was black. It's the fact that he lost a lot and he was being self-conscious and worrying about his place in wrestling. And, like, it's a good story. It just happens that Lee Johnson's black.
I haven't heard anyone talking about this story, which is the crazy thing, because Peter Avalon and Brandon Cutler, Peter Avalon was in this match. And all last year, he had that whole thing with Brandon Cutler of, like, we both keep losing. We'll fight each other because then somebody has to win. And there were, like, 3 different ways they both got counted out until finally Brandon Cutler got his first win. Like, that was such a big deal to people. I never heard anybody mention that this was going on with Lee Johnson, so it completely blindsided me in the most wonderful, wholesome way, especially when Tony Schiavone is like, hey, kid, you want to cut a promo? And Lee Johnson is just like, I didn't prepare anything. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Dustin. I love you all. Thank you for believing me. Do the work.
But, like, goddamn, they fucking planted seeds for something, because QT's just going like, what? What? Excuse me? I trained you. My name wasn't said. Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Caesar was fucking nice in this. He did a lot of cool shit.
Yeah. Him and Tay Conte seem to be like two people that could have been amazing in NXT, and WWE just let them slip through their fingers.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the story for the next few years. Oh, WWE could have done something really good with them, but they let him slip by.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to an extent, we could say that about Pac, Brody Lee, John Moxley, Miro, Cody. That's like, and that's one thing I appreciate with AEW is, like, they have a bunch of the other company didn't see anything in me. I'm here to prove myself, people, and they don't. Like, that's a part of their character.
The only one who has that story.
Yeah, but, like, a lot of them have that element within their character. Mm-hmm. But it's not a part of their story. Like, Miro has that vibe of, like, other people didn't take notice of me, so I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be the best. I am the best. I am the best dressed, I am the most handsome, I am the strongest, I am the toughest, I am the most ruthless in the ring. Like,
if you watch his YouTube channel, he just bought a brand new custom gaming rig because he didn't feel that the one he was using was up to snuff.
But, like, and if you know your history, the WWE thing kind of adds to it, because he's like, no, I was the best, and they didn't see it, so I'm just gonna fucking flaunt it.
Mm-hmm.
Tay Conte wasn't in WWE much, so it's not really a big part of her character, but, like, Pac, like, that's part of his character of being basically told, no, stay home, fucking ate away at a chip in his shoulder, and he is just super mega pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how many opportunities he's going to get, he is always going to remember and think back to those 9 months where he was on the shelf, doing nothing, wasting away his career.
He is eternally the angriest boy.
But, like, that's part of his character. WWE informed it, but it's not the overarching part of his identity.
Wow. Shit. I guess Triple H really does believe in long-term booking.
God damn it. But you get what I'm saying? Like, it informs a lot of the characters, but it's not the main drive for a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, no, this was a good, feel-good like very good babyface prevails kind of segment.
But also, because Cody got shoot injured during this match, and this injury takes like 4 months to recover from, I'm making a little prediction here. Lee Johnson's going to replace Cody in the Shaq match, and I don't have to pay attention to this feud anymore.
Oh, that's gonna be. Part of me feels like they may not do the match because I think most of it was going to be Cody leading Shaq through a wrestling match.
But, like, imagine Lee Johnson just bouncing off of Shaq like a pinball.
Ooh, that'd be fun, though. Yeah. But that's it for this.
No, you know what it's going to be? It's not going to be Lee Johnson. Because they can't get the face of TNT. They're going to get the next best thing. The Natural.
And Dustin can get a fucking match out of Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin, like, oh, that'd be fun.
Like, here's the thing. To me, Shaq has no charisma, so this feud has been so one-sided and boring. And, like, I've not even been remotely excited for the match because, like, Cody's my boy. He's a great wrestler, but, like, even if he can get a great match out of Shaq, I'm not that interested in it. Dustin is such a good fucking wrestler that I kind of have to see that match if it happens.
Just to see how he fucking salvages it.
Mm-hmm.
Because in that match, he's the ring general. He's telling everybody what to do.
Yeah, it's him, two of his students, because he teaches the girls' class in AEW, and then some celebrity fucker who he's got to lead around.
Some celebrity fucker who probably took a couple lessons from Dustin to make sure he doesn't hurt himself.
Yeah.
But speaking of hurting yourself, the Young Bucks are backstage with Dasha Gonzalez because the Young Bucks do a lot of stunts that can possibly injure them. That's the through line. Dasha Gonzalez, they ask the Good Brothers why they interfered with Battle Royal, and we get similar things to what was on BTE. It's just like, no, we were trying to fuck over Private Party. You were kind of an afterthought. We're trying.
Circle did your pose. You should be mad at them, not us.
Yeah. Go be angry at Santana and Ortiz. Go do that. Distraction. Pay no attention to the fact that we're working with Kenny Omega and we're usurping so many things and we're laying groundwork for being duplicitous bastards.
Also, apparently Sting's right off camera, and now we're gonna go too sweet him, because remember that Sting was in the NWO.
He was in Wolfpack! Wolfpack, bros! Wolfpack!
Like, literally, Luke Gallows saying, Stinger, will you too sweet me? Just popped me so much, and I don't know why.
The Good Brothers are fucking Kevin Smiths of wrestling.
Yeah? And you know what's crazy about that? I don't like Kevin Smith that much, but I fucking love the Good Brothers. They're hilarious.
But it's that same kind of, like, continuity joke vibe that Kevin Smith has when he talks about comics and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's wrote comics, too. And from what I've heard, they aren't bad.
And just to clarify, in case this clip ever comes back to bite me in the ass, I don't mean I hate Kevin Smith. I don't have any, like, dislike towards him. I'm just completely apoplectic towards everything he does. He's never done anything that's made me go, like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah. Like, his movies, they ebb and flow.
Yeah. His stand-up, it happens.
It's not really a stand-up, it's a Q&A, technically.
Are not something I've ever listened to.
You know what's fun, though? And he barely has anything to do with it? The reality show he produced, Comic Book Men.
I watched a few episodes of that back when it was new, and it was okay.
It was Pawn Stars for comic book nerds.
Yeah, exactly.
Pawn Stars is just, oh, cool, look at that neat thing.
Embarrassingly, I was very into Pawn Stars back when it was new. For like the first 3 seasons, that was something me and my dad watched whenever there was a new episode.
That or American Pickers.
Yes, American Pickers was so good, and no one ever talks about it anymore.
It was solid. Give shit for History Channel, yes, but like, look at this neat old thing is just a good format.
Reality TV can be good when it's just a series of YouTube videos strung together.
Because LGR is just look at this old neat thing.
Mm-hmm.
Aged Wheels, look at this old neat thing. Technology Connection, look at this old neat thing.
Tested is just look at this cool new thing. And then occasionally look at this old neat thing.
Yeah. Linus Tech Tips.
Yeah. But then after the break, because they went from one Dasha segment into another Dasha segment, so
quick,
they had
Dasha,
to break it
run,
up with an
run,
break.
Run, Dasha, run!
Like literally, as they were two sweeting Sting, Dasha's like running through. Dasha also has access to the Speed Force, and now she's going over to the other side of Daly's place, where Hangman Adam Page is, and she goes to ask him about his partnership with Matt Hardy, and he basically goes to say something about it, and then Matt walks in and he's like, hey, dude, I get it, you don't want to be a part of a tag team anymore, but like, we had such a great match, like however long ago it was now, it was like 2 weeks ago, we should totally celebrate, so you know what, I rented out a bar for us, all of it's going to be paid for, just come and drink to your heart's content and hang out with me, and we'll tell stories, it'll be a grand old time, come with me to the bar, and Hangman's just like, all right, if you're paying, so let me go get my jacket, and then he walks over, and there's the entire Dark Order. And it's super awkward.
I love how they're kind of treating the Dark Order as one singular unit, and this was a failed relationship angle.
Yeah, it's so good.
You know? But Anna Jay's still giving him the stink eye.
Yeah.
That's great.
Like, it's so good, because, like, there's always a little bit of separation between BT and Dynamite, but not with Dark Order. It's like all that shit that happened. That is perfectly in
especially now that they're in complete face mode.
Uh-huh.
And you're right now the story's just you want Hangman to be with people who care about him genuinely, and Matt Hardy is just sucking up.
Like, you know how the announce table advertises BT whenever the Young Bucks have a match? They should start doing that whenever Dark Order has a match.
I can see that.
It's like, watch Being the Elite. I know it's called Being the Elite, but it's the Dark Order show guest starring the Elite.
Yeah. But, yeah, it was an awkward awkward in a good way. It was meant to be awkward segment. But next up, we had some great work from the Bastard Pac with his boy Phoenix at ringside, and Hollywood hunk Ryan Nemeth.
Not just there for a cup of coffee. Ryan Nemeth's sticking around.
No, he's there for a cup of coffee and a croissant.
Uh-huh. And last week he showed that he could work. This week he shows that he can sell.
Goddamn, those selling genes run in that family.
Yeah.
Because Pac just beats him half to a thing. Ryan gets a couple good hits in every once in a while, but like
just enough that it's not a straight squash match.
No, enough that you can go like, oh yeah, no, Ryan Nemeth can still work. He can still do some dope shit. But Pac does his big flying flippy move, gets in the brutalizer, taps out, continues to hold on, and Ryan's just going like, oh god, fuck this shit. Is this what my brother has to deal with every week?
It was a good, solid little match. Probably my favorite part of it was just Pac's entrance, because it literally clicked in my head that, like, oh, now that Penta's gone, Rey Fenix is just playing Robin to Pac's Batman, and it's great.
Also, just so I really enjoy how Ryan Nemeth's bro, Dolph Ziggler, continues to promote his matches. On his social...
I didn't see this week.
It was on a story on Instagram.
Okay.
Or Facebook or one of those kind of things. It was a story.
Yeah.
He was like, it was the match graphic, and I was kind of like, ew, why would anybody want to watch this kind of joke? For all the shit we can give Dolph Ziggler, and I don't think it's Dolph Ziggler deserving of the shit. I think it's management and Dolph Ziggler.
He is the perpetual guy who takes the L so other people can move up the ladder. And I think he's accepted that, and he's just trying to have as much fun with that role as he can.
Oh, yeah. And I hope Ryan doesn't get immediately that with AEW. You know what I mean? No.
Like, I'm not super into Ryan, but I think the dude should eventually get a shot at the TNT title at the very least.
He works well. I wouldn't go so far as to say he's full on, like, pure AEW material. But, like, I can see him working a good couple angles in AEW.
Weirdly, he strikes me more as an Impact guy than he does an AEW guy. But, like, he also works in AEW.
Yeah. He would be A+ in Impact. He is a B in AEW. Not in terms of work rate or anything, but like compatibility.
Yeah.
Similar to a vein like Lance Archer is a B in Impact, A in AEW, A in New Japan.
Yeah.
And Cody's like A in AEW, B in New Japan. He works in New Japan, but he works really great in AEW.
Because in AEW, he can play the face, and in New Japan, he has to play the evil, maniacal foreign heel. And Cody kind of works in that role, but also he's extremely cheesy in that role.
Yeah, he plays it like he would be going up against his dad in the 80s.
Yeah. Like,
well, when he's a face, he's his dad in the 80s.
Anybody else remember those contacts he was wearing in New Japan for a minute? Because I do.
No, what were they?
Oh god, I can't actually remember now. I'll show you an image later.
Okay, cool. But yeah.
Then we got a video package which was partially recapping the wedding, partially Miro cutting a promo on Trent or Chuck for betraying him, and Orange Cassidy for popping out of the wedding cake, and he's basically like, hey, Orange Cassidy, I no longer care about Chuck. My feud with him's over. I'm going to beat the fuck out of you because you're the reason their wedding got ruined. You're the mastermind. I can see the wheels working behind your head, you little fucker.
That's going to be a fun match, though. Miro versus Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy just with his hands in his pocket, no selling everything Miro does, and he's like, wake up and fight me! Wake up and fight me! Wake up and fight me! And he just works himself into a shoot.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. I also like the kind of vibe that Miro's going like, I don't blame Chuck. I blame you because you're a bad influence.
Yeah.
Charles is not.
My sweet Charles is such an angel. He would never do anything so mean without such a toxic boy in his life such as you, Orange.
And I love Orange Cassidy's fucking response. What the fuck did he expect would happen?
It's like, it's wrestling. You know the tropes. Come on.
But we're backstage getting ready for the next big match, and Dasha pops in and goes like, hey, what's up, Jericho? What's up, all this? And MJF comes in and goes like, Sammy's fucking off the fucking off his rocker. He punched me. And like everybody's going like, why would Sammy we gotta fucking go. We gotta go. We can't think about this right now. We gotta have a match. So they go out, have do their entrance with Judas. Took me a second. And then the Acclaim come in and go like, hey, we're gonna rap and insult you as we want. And they're really like, their gimmick is getting over, I think.
Yeah, I love their pre-match freestyles, especially whenever they cut to the opposing team's reaction shots, because MJF in during this was just staring at them wide-eyed, like he had no idea what they were gonna say, and he's just like, "Whoa, dude, you went for that? That's great. Okay, yeah."
And then he went like, "Oh right, I'm supposed to be angry." Arrgh.
Yeah.
But they have a fun, cool match. Really put over the Acclaim. They look, other than the one boombox spot, they look like really cool baby faces. Because hey, in Inner Circle, they have to play the heel.
Uh-huh.
But ultimately, Inner Circle does play the heel, and Chris Jericho gets a distraction version of the Judas Effect.
It's Judas effective.
And they win 1, 2, 3, and then Sammy Guevara comes out, the heel entrance, and goes like, "All right, I'm here to say my piece. I said if MJF did one more thing that pissed me off, I would quit the Inner Circle. Well, guess what? He did one more thing to piss me off. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm quitting." And like all the Inner Circle's going like, Sammy, come on, you don't have to do this. Sammy going like, nope. He sits
and MJF,
there.
As soon as the words "I quit" or "I'm leaving the Inner Circle" leave Sammy's mouth, MJF just turns to the camera and gives the best "Ain't I a stinker" look I've seen in a while.
Oh god, it's great. And Sammy goes up to the stage. He sits there for a second and contemplates, and he walks to the right to the face tunnel.
He's a good boy now. Especially because we later get a segment of Marbez going up to interview Sammy as he's leaving through a gate that literally has a sign on it that says "No re-entry." And Sammy's just like, "Yeah, I don't want to do an interview about this right now. I'm already over it in my head. I just need some time away to refocus and get myself back together." And I'm like, "Oh, we're going full on repackaging. He's not coming back till after Revolution, and when he comes back, he's gonna be a full on face."
I can see that, but part of me also goes like, what if this is Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara hatching a plan to fucking fuck over MJF?
That would be interesting.
I'm not saying that's the direction they're going. I don't think they're going that direction. It doesn't feel like it right now, but it was just like, that was a thought I had. Is like, oh, what if they're trying to bamboozle MJF?
Yeah, well, you gotta remember, Jericho did have that private talk with him after last week, so
yeah,
it is entirely plausible.
But yeah,
a great segment. Something they've been teasing for a while that kind of went off really well.
Yeah,
and actually did hit a bit of an emotional beat for me. I wasn't like tearing up or anything, but as Sammy left, I was kind of like, "Oh, Sammy, don't go, buddy pal, buddy friend. I like your shirt. It says woman in a cool font, and there's like galaxies behind it."
I think it was Nyla Rose.
Get that?
I think it was a Nyla Rose. I think it looks.
If that's a Nyla Rose shirt, I'm buying a Nyla Rose shirt.
Hold on, let me go look at AEW Shop while you introduce the next segment.
Okay, so we go to the bar, and Hangman and Matt are talking. He's telling some story, and Matt's, of course, overreacting to it, being like, "Oh, that's hilarious. That's the best thing ever. Hey, keep drinking, keep drinking, keep drinking." Also, I know you don't want to be in a tag team or anything, but you could definitely use a hand getting up in the rankings again. So, I got this whole burgeoning Matt Hardy brand faction thing going on. You want to sign for that? I just happen to have one of those contracts, the exact same one I had Private Party sign on me. Why don't you sign? Hangman, why don't you sign for me? Buddy.
Buddy. Hey, pal, give me money.
Yeah, and Hangman's like taking a drink, and he goes like, "Yeah, okay, why not?" And so Matt hands him the contract, and then turns to the camera and starts going on about like, "Cameraman, I brought you here because I needed this documented. He's going to be really angry when he sobers up in the morning, but like, this is actual video evidence. He signed this contract. He's in his deal now. This is great." And all the while he's doing this, Hangman just reaches into his coat, pulls out a set of papers, sets it, takes the contract, puts it in his coat, and then signs the set of papers he pulled out. And then when Matt turns back, he's like, "All right, man, here you go. You should probably sign this too." And Matt's like, oh, yes, of course. I'm going to go get this notarized. You have fun, though. You got the bar the whole rest of the night. Drink as much as you want. Bye, buddy. And we then get announced that the Matt Hardy brand will be taking on Chaos Project and TH2 next week. And I'm imagining there's going to be some sort of angle after that where we reveal that Matt Hardy signed a match for, I'm guessing, him versus Hangman Adam Page at Revolution.
I could see that. I could also see it being like, oh, now Matt Hardy owes Hangman ever so much per match.
Mm-hmm. Or Hangman got Private Party to royalties back.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Mm-hmm. Nice little baby face, with just like goodwill gesture kind of a thing.
Hey, sorry.
Like, actually, we're heels now. So fuck you. You screwed with our boss. We're gonna fuck you up.
Does this mean I don't have to pay you the $12 anymore?
That'd be so great. But then, oh, this is you.
Yeah. I haven't been able to find the shirt yet, so I'll go back and look at it. But we're in the ring for a segment that was announced involving Tony Schiavone and Sting and Taz interrupts.
Boingo.
Yes.
I'm officially tired of Sting.
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like beating my head against the wall like I was with the Cody Shaq thing last week, but I'm just like, I've seen enough of this man.
I've seen enough of this man doing the same thing. They needed, like, here's the thing, they needed to, I think it's a mixture of Sting wants to be there and he wants to do stuff.
And they're being way too gentle with him.
And they want to make him happy. It's a mixture of things. It's also I think the recap problem of like some shows, like they don't know who's new, who might be coming into AEW or might just be channel surfing and go like, oh wait, Sting's back? Oh shit, I need
every comic is somebody's first comic.
Exactly. So they keep bringing Sting out to kind of make for channel surfers to go like, oh, Sting's back, cool, kind of thing. But this week, I think is the best we've had in the past few weeks, where Team Taz does interrupt and goes like, hey, Sting, you're a loser. We're winners. We're cool. You're not. That whole shtick.
Mm-hmm.
But then the camera does pan to behind the car, and Ricky Starks and Brian Cage are zipping up a bag as they hold up the head of Darby Allin, beaten unconscious in a body bag. They zip it up and they drive off. And I'm just going like, yes.
Now, because I wrote it this way in the card, does that or does that not qualify as an F-word drag?
I don't know.
Because like I looked it up on Urban Dictionary, and that is specifically a South Park reference to dragging a gay person by their hair. But I'm like, it's in a pickup truck, and it's gonna have the same amount of damage. Like his scalp's still gonna get fucked up. So,
but he's in a body bag.
Mm-hmm.
He's protected. You know damn well they had at least some kind of padding underneath them in the body bag.
They probably didn't even turn. They probably just, like, as soon as they were out of the camera's range, they just very slowly applied the brakes.
Yeah. But it's a great little thing. It makes Team Taz seem really threatening and imposing. It's a way for them to get one over the babyfaces without genuinely getting one over the babyfaces. Because this is kind of shit that Darby would do to himself on a weekly basis.
Yeah, no, this part of the segment was great. But then they cut back to the ring, and Sting just turns around and casually walks into the tunnel. And Excalibur on commentary is like, Sting in hot pursuit of Darby Allin and Team Taz. And I'm like, that's not even a brisk walk.
But he's Sting. He has teleportation powers. He just needs to be outside of the camera's view.
That's true. But like, I don't know, man. Like, this wasn't terrible, but also, if you're gonna do something with Sting, do something
with Sting.
And like, it wouldn't be half as bad if it wasn't for the fact that every fucking week they go, and there's going to be a segment where Sting addresses the audience, just because like Sting's name will inherently pop the rating, which was true the first 3 times. It hasn't been the subsequent 8 times.
Yeah. Again, it feels like Sting's back in the game and he wants to be back in the game, and they're going like, yeah, we'll do a thing with you, Sting. We have this whole big thing. We'll do something. And it's a something. What it's been 3 segments stretched over 2 months.
Yeah.
Like,
and I just thought of very easy way they could have fixed the problem this week. Just follow this up before the main event. You don't even have to have Sting fight Team Taz. Just have a segment where Sting catches up to the car and gets Darby out of the body bag. And hell, even make it a comedy bit. Just like Sting wakes up Darby and he's like, "Kid, are you all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was awesome. Can you do it to me now?" Like, I would be fine if they did that.
Yeah. I thought the segment was fine. It was cool. It's a little not enough too late, but I thought it was fine, and it did pick up the angle for me. The angle's not fixed. The angle's not perfect. It did pick it up. It went from a D to a C.
I did like that Taz also struck a different tone. He wasn't just doing the same, I'm angry, grumpy old man that he's been doing for the last few promos. He was like, "Hey, Sting, it's me, Powerhouse Hobbs. We're going to drag your boy around. Isn't that fun?"
Yeah.
Again, he was channeling Mr. Krabs.
It wasn't the worst, but it was better than what we've been having.
Indeed. But then Alex Marvez is earlier that day. Alex Marvez is on a golf course and comes up to Kenny Omega, who looks just spiffy in golf duds, might I say.
Oh, yes, very spiffy.
And he goes like, "Hi, Kenny. What the fuck are you doing playing golf when you have a big match tonight? Shouldn't you be like training or like watching other matches you guys have been in, or I don't know, talking to Kenta? Like, what even made you think it was a good idea to book this match when Kenta literally told you to go fuck yourself?" And Kenny just blows him off. He hits a shot and then just proceeds to blow Marvez off, and it's just like, dude, look, you really think I'm gonna be huddled around a monitor watching old tapes with Don Callis today? You think I'm gonna go to the dungeon and train with Kenta? Look, I'm the best wrestler. Everybody agrees I'm the best wrestler ever. I win all the matches. I haven't lost a match in months, and that's not gonna change anytime soon. So you know what I'm doing here? You know what I'm doing on this golf course? I'm reconnecting with nature. I'm clearing my mind and calming my spirit so that I can be prepared for the insane battle that I'm going to be a part of tonight. That's what I'm doing here. That's what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden, Don's just like, "Oh, you got it, kiddo." And he turns around. And like, I didn't notice this, but people were pointing it out. If you pay attention to the background, the entire time Kenny is cutting this promo, Don Callis is just like slowly moving the golf ball in the background until he gets it in the hole. And he starts yelling at Kenny like, "Oh, you got a hole in one. Great job. Your par's up. Oh, man, you're so good. Golf terms. Here, Marvez, keep this as a memento. It'll be worth something on eBay one day. Bye." Just like continuing to what's the word? Pump up Kenny's ego.
Oh, yeah. Goddamn, it's going to be fucking hilarious when that whole thing blows apart in Kenny's face.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, speaking of things blowing the fuck up, legit Layla Hirsch versus Thunder. Whoa, whoa, Rosa.
Is it just me, or did Layla have new music this week?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, I don't remember this being Layla's theme, but it might have been, and I just didn't notice the last time she was on Dynamite.
It was good. It was a good theme.
Yeah.
And this was a fucking good match.
This was such a great match. And you know what? Before we go any further, quick shout out to my girl Thunder Rosa for wearing Abba Ray Killer of Bakaru Sentai Abba Ranger of the Super Sentai series inspired gear.
Now, can you explain that in Power Ranger terms?
Is the White Dragon Ranger from Power Rangers Down Under.
Because here's the thing, it's a Power Rangers reference, and you know it because he's the Dino Thunder Ranger. What's her name?
Thunder Rosa. By the way, that's entirely a bit. I haven't even seen Abba Ranger.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, Dino Thunder's fucking great. I don't need.
Oh, yeah.
It has one of the. Literally, it has genuinely one of the best American-only villains.
Dino Thunder is technically my first season. I saw bits and pieces of it on ABC Kids when I was very young. The first season I actually consciously watched and paid attention to was SPD. So I kind of consider them both my first season. And SPD is my favorite season. Dino Thunder is my second favorite season. Occasionally Lightspeed will jump ahead of it in my mind. They go back and forth.
But no, Mesogog was probably one of the best American-only villains.
Oh no, Mesogog is fantastic. And to tie into the gear Thunder Rosa was wearing, though it did get muddled at times, the Six Ranger arc in that season was really good.
Oh yeah. But speaking of really good, this fucking match, because goddamn, you have a little tiny suplex machine going for holds and everything, and you have Thunder Rosa, who's just a great striker, just going at each other, beating the shit out of each other. Goddamn.
You know what I just thought of? Remember a few weeks ago when Layla Hirsch made her Dynamite debut, and we were like, oh, Layla Hirsch, she's got to be on Team Taz at some point. That's got to happen.
Oh, yeah, no. She just fits.
Yeah. Now I want a storyline of after that happens, and Dark Order's walking around, they got a female member. Team Taz is walking around, they got a female member. Chris Jericho all of a sudden is like, guys, why don't we have a female member in the Inner Circle? Weren't we the first faction in this company? What the hell is going on? We're slipping! We're slipping! Somebody find a woman!
I mean, the Elite have a woman. She's pregnant right now, but they have a woman.
And then they go and try to bribe Nyla Rose into joining, and she's just like, fuck off.
Oh god, that'd be funny. Chris Jericho and Nyla Rose in the intergender tag match against John Silver and Anna Jay and Powerhouse and Layla Hirsch. That'd be a fun. That'd be a fun triple threat.
Man, Layla Hirsch would probably be literally half of Powerhouse's size.
Oh, dude, just imagine Layla Hirsch trying to suplexing Nyla Rose.
For some reason, I now have the visual of Layla Hirsch riding on Powerhouse's shoulders in my
Jungle Boy.
Yes.
No. This is a weird joke. Remember that? You've seen the screenshot of the tall woman and the short woman from that one lesbian porn?
Uh-huh.
That's just a Nyla Rose and Layla Hirsch match of her just, you are tiny.
Yes. She goes to suplex Nyla Rose, and Nyla Rose just picks her up and throws her into the buckle.
But that'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh man, fantasy booking—it's a hell of a drug.
But But yeah, no, it was a fun match. It was cool. It was great. But Thunder Rosa goes on in the tournament because, of course, she is the person that they're building, booking. She's a focus of the division right now, so it makes sense that she would go on.
I mean, this match, from a fan's perspective, from our perspective, was really a no-lose scenario. Just because, like, either we get this new star we're really into, or we get somebody who we've been really into for a long time moving forward in the tournament. And they went with the person who we've been really into for a long time, which, from a booking perspective, makes more sense.
Oh yeah, especially because they may be booking towards Britt Baker and her being in the semifinals on the American side, and kind of having a rematch, not because of a feud, but because of internal logic. Which would be fun.
So, I think just because she's the most popular person and she's been endorsed by several top AEW people after she was announced, Maki Ito is definitely winning on the Japanese side. Who do you want more? Her versus Thunder Rosa or her versus Britt Baker?
Here's the thing. Thunder Rosa would be a better match because Thunder Rosa can help cover some of Maki Ito's failings. Because here's the thing. Maki Ito's still relatively new in wrestling. Mm-hmm. She's not the greatest.
She's only been wrestling for like 3 years, right?
Three or so years. But a lot of her character work for a good part of it was being shit on purpose. So she couldn't really practice real good grabs. What I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But Thunder Rosa would be able to help her hide some of the faults, make a better match. But goddamn, I want to see Britt Baker and Maki Ito have a shouting match where Maki Ito does the I am Japanese. I don't speak English. What the fuck you talking about?
Yes. Also, could you imagine Maki Ito comes to AEW, they give her a contract, and then Dustin Rhodes just adopts her as his shit daughter? It's like, I noticed you have some issues in the ring, let me train you. And she's just like, motherfucker! What? Fucking fuck! Damn shit! Those are the only English words you know, aren't they? And Nakazawa's just standing off to the side like, yes, just train her, don't worry. She's actually really nice. She's just
very insecure. Say she's the cutest at least once a day and you're good. Mm-hmm. Oh god, I cannot wait for when Maki Ito is in a full American stadium and she is on the turnbuckle and just goes, "Who is the cutest?" And the whole American crowd goes, "Maki Ito." God damn, she's gonna fucking do great in America. But we also get. No, wait. Do you want to talk about the Japanese side of the tournament because it's a tiny thing?
I don't actually remember the brackets, but we got the Japanese side of the tournament announced as YouTube exclusive. And look, okay. On the one hand, I understand this. The matches aren't going to be quite up to TNT level quality in terms of like directing and just general
aesthetic.
Like it'll probably, at best, we'll probably get stuff like the Nightmare Factory episodes, which isn't terrible. I like that aesthetic, but I can understand why they'd want to put it on YouTube instead of actually on TV. On the other hand, this tournament is supposed to be about pushing the women's stars really hard and actually committing to that division, and yet it's still only getting one segment on Dynamite a week. Feels like a half measure. I understand why it is this way, but I'm just saying to somebody who doesn't understand that, it would feel like a half measure and like a broken promise.
I can see that. But we're also getting all 4 of the first initial women's division's Japanese matches in one go, which is going to be fun. We're getting the next American side of the match next week on Dynamite. We're probably going to get the next 2 in the next week on Dynamite.
Yeah.
And depending on how it works on YouTube, we may get the next 2 Japanese matches at least highlighted, like 5-minute highlight reels on Dynamite.
That's true.
And we may get that anyway on Dynamite.
We'll probably also get interview segments on the YouTube.
And here's the thing, this isn't.
Dude, Hikaru Shida flew to Japan. Could you imagine, like, the interview segments are just her going up to other Joshis being like, so why do you want my belt? Why are you trying to take my belt? Why are you being that rude?
Why you want to fight me?
Way? And Maki Ito's just like, fuck you!
Because I am cuter than you. Oh, man.
And Hikaru Shida's just like, shit, that's a good argument.
But, like, here's the other thing. It's all Japanese matches, and if we do get interview segments, it's going to be most comfortable for them. It's going to be in Japanese.
Oh my god, am I going to have to watch wrestling fans learn how to read subtitles? That'll be a fun experience.
But having it on YouTube means that they can be a little bit more loose with that format and be more Japanese, be more subtitle based. That could be a possibility. And I agree. I would have loved to see him on Dynamite, but I can totally understand because remember, Dynamite now is live again with a crowd, and you don't want to have a 10-minute segment that you just show to the crowd and it's like you don't do that to the live crowd. What else do you do?
Chris, Boingo. There are these things called dark matches that you typically do when you throw to something that's not going to excite the crowd that much.
I'm saying from a logistical, like, there is reasons for anything. This does not feel malicious.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm not even trying to say that it's malicious or argue that it is. I'm just saying it could be construed as that. And, like, as somebody who has been sticking up for this women's division for so long, I feel like, we were on the cusp of being validated, and now they're doing this, and we're just going to get beaten down again. Like, it's more me going, shit, I'm going to have to listen to people bitch about this, than it is me going, this is fucking stupid.
But also, it's free on YouTube, and that'd be much more easily shared for the Joshis. Instead of saying, tune in on Dynamite at this time to see some dope women wrestlers. You can just go like, no, you want to see some of the best women's wrestling? Fucking watch this.
Agreed.
Like, there's pros and cons, and Tony Khan and Hikaru Shida and Kenny Omega and the booking staff at AEW probably weighed all of them, and they were like, this might just be the best option. At least it's not a blank segment on Dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not just throwing it into Dark. It is its own special premier AEW content, similar to the Women's Tag Team Tournament.
Yeah. I was going to say something. You made me think of something, and I lost it.
If you remember, we'll just bring it back up. But I think I'm in you. I'm go.
Like, did you are you aware that there's like a booking group text? That's how they book, is via group text, and it's going 24/7. Like, Matt Jackson has said that, like, he'll be up at 3 a.m. just texting with Tony Khan or Cody or whoever is also in the chat at the time, and his wife will be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Go to sleep."
We're doing wrestling.
I'm doing a wrestle. No, you're not. You're trying to go to sleep.
I mean, it works with because they can go back and check everything. Everything's recorded.
Yeah. And I mean, like, we're joking with that. Like, Dana Massey is also the head of merchandise for AEW, so she probably understands.
Yep. But I'm excited for the Japanese side of the tournament either way.
Oh, yes. I'm sure these are all going to be great matches.
Your pick is going up against Aja Kong. I'm sorry.
R.I.P. It was a fun 10 seconds But I'm just gonna slowly get off of that train.
You can always join the Neo Maki Respect Army.
I'm an honorary member, but dude, I can't not simp for Sheeta. It's in my veins now.
There's also Yuka Sakazaki.
That's true, but like Sheeta and oh my god, I literally just blanked on her name. Deity of shit.
Oh, Maki Ito.
Yeah. Sheeta and Maki Ito are like, yeah, in my age group, I could see myself dating you kind of waifus. Fantasy. Whereas Yuka Sakazaki is a legitimate MILF. Like
the magical girl with the genie pants.
But she's like 40 years old and she has kids. She is on Asuka's level.
No.
Yeah, you didn't know? Dude, you're the one who told me this way back when she debuted for AEW.
I don't... Dude, you know my brain. It is shit. It is not a good brain.
So, like, Yuka Sakazaki is appealing to me, but Sheeta beats her out in the same way that Sheeta beats Asuka out.
There's no year on Wikipedia.
I thought it was on the Google.
No, she debuted December 1st, 2013. There's no year. She was born December 27th.
I could have sworn we had this conversation.
Emi Sakura.
Like, me going. Was it Emi Sakura?
It was Emi Sakura.
Okay. I don't remember simping for Emi Sakura. But
I don't know. Maybe. I don't... Like, I know we had a conversation. It's like, oh, she's older than we thought she was. Than we thought she was.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, you know what? Yuka Sakazaki, I'll simp for Yuka. Yay, we figured it out. We figured out exactly how garbage I am.
Very garbage. But enough about the Japanese side of the tournament.
Yeah.
We have a follow-up segment to the FTR segment from last week. Tony Schiavone's backstage with Jungle Boy, and Jungle Boy, he basically was like, hey, Jungle Boy, you wanted to have a segment on Dynamite to kind of speak your mind. Here you go. And Jungle Boy basically goes like, hey, FTR, we didn't fucking rat you out. We wanted you to be in there because we wanted to kick your ass. You didn't have to... Fuck you for kidnapping Marco Stunt. We want to fight you.
So, where do you stand on this whole thing? Because they kind of just went, oh, Marco's fine, don't worry about it. A lot of people were like, no, that's a legitimate crime. Like, this should be taking... If this is the sports-based wrestling company, they should be taking that way more seriously. Kidnapping? What? And I'm kind of like, yes, I agree, but also it's wrestling, who cares?
Yeah, I think like, all you needed to do was have Jungle Boy say, and you know what? We're not pressing charges. Because we understand your aim. Like, have that understanding of, like, we're not pressing charges. We, like, in the eyes of the law, we forgive you. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be, like, full-on courtroom drama. Just acknowledge, yes, the law exists, moving on. In a similar way of, like, I can see Darby Allin just going, like, yeah, no, I dropped charges. No. They did. I went there willingly, you know, that kind of thing.
I've had Saturday nights more crazy than that. Come on.
Yeah. The baseball bat to the head was worse than that. Come on. But yeah, basically, Jungle Boy was calling them out. He got to look like a big, tough baby face. Yeah. We're gonna probably get
The
the
whole
match with
time
the,
I'm just go ahead.
we're probably gonna get the planned match of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy versus FTR. Without
Yeah.
Marco Stunt coming in and going like, I'm tiny and I'm Marco Stunt and fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goddamn!
Uh,
Imagine Marco Stunt interacting with Maki Ito.
oh my god. She'd probably like adopt him. Like she just walks out of the crowd during the match of FTR versus Jurassic Express, and he's like shouting at Tully Blanchard, and then she just slowly walks into frame, and he's like, "Who are you?
I
Your
am
new
the deity
mom.
of shit.
Come with me."
Guys,
And
I'm
then
being
that leads to
kidnapped again,
BT's stuff.
but she's kind of cute. I don't think I mind.
All right, we'll see you later. Have fun storming the castle.
Have fun storming the castle. But setting up another match with FTR and Jurassic. It's gonna be fun. I don't mind this feud continuing.
Mm-hmm. And like going off of the whole backstage thing we've been talking about with Dax Harwood really wanting to get Jungle Boy over. This whole promo, I was just picturing Dax Harwood standing behind the camera going, "Come on, yeah, you got, yeah, say that. Oh, yeah, that's a good line, kid. Yeah,
fuck me, right? Fuck me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be your bitch."
Like, come on. Like FTR, they seem like old school kind of guys in terms of like wrestling mentality, but they feel very much like they would fit in a modern. They fit in the modern locker room. They're very.
They want to get guys over, but they want to get guys over in a way that would satisfy Jim Cornette.
Yes, but they understand that getting over means something completely different today.
Yeah.
Like they like old school wrestling similar to Cody, but they understand that old school wrestling needs to be understanding of contemporary wrestling. You can't have one.
They're trying to meet in the middle of old and new.
Yeah. Also, a thing we didn't mention earlier on in the Cody match, they showed off Arn Anderson's son.
Oh yeah. What did they say his name was? Mike Anderson?
Some Anderson.
Something with
Jim Ross was just going like, damn, he looks like his dad.
Yeah. He also said he looks like he belongs on a can of beef stew, which was funny. And I immediately went like, oh yeah, he kind of looks like the Brawny Man.
But like they did say he was being trained now that he graduated college.
Yeah. He's training at the Nightmare Factory, so he'll probably join the Nightmare family and be in some matches soon enough. I know it would be cheesy in a WWE legacy push kind of way, but I would love it if just for his first few matches he had his dad out doing the coach gimmick.
I don't want him being there for the coach gimmick. I want Arn Anderson in the crowd cheering on his boy.
Fair enough.
You know, it's very. I want Arn Anderson to be kind of guy of like, I want you to make it on your own. I will be happy to help, but when push comes to shove, I want you to succeed as your own man, not on my laurels. But I want to be there for you, so I'll be in the crowd. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of vibe I feel with the Andersons.
Arn Anderson's that dad in the crowd going, "That's my son! That's my son!"
And Cody's just there hyping him up. Yeah! Yeah! But the new birth of the backbreaker. Mm-hmm. You know he's just going that's going to be one of his major moves.
And he's just looking around the locker room like, all right, who's going to make Brainbusters 2.0 with me?
Who? That's a Pretty Peter.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's skinny, he can kind of move around a bit, but he's also smarmy and kind of a cheaty asshole.
He's got a weird face.
Not that Tully has a weird face. It's just...
Yeah. Tully's face... This is weird. Tully's face is like the... kind of like just average guy. Like he doesn't have a specifically interesting wrestler face. He's very nondescript.
He is the wrestler that would be in the background of a wrestling movie from the 1970s.
Yeah. But we need to keep moving. We got some more we got some matches announced for next week. FTR versus Matt and Mike Sydal. I didn't know Matt had a brother, but apparently he does, and he's going to be in AEW. Should be interesting, especially if they have similar styles. Um, the aforementioned Matt Hardy brand match, a Sting promo. Oh boy, how exciting! And Serena Deeb versus Riho.
Riho, that's gonna be fucking great. Just imagine so many of the bendy shits. Because Serena Deeb is
Only 5
yoga.
more sleeps till Riho returns.
And Riho is a spring.
Yes.
I can just see the segment right now. Cover, bridge to break the cover. Cover, bridge to break the cover. Cover, bridge to break the cover. And it's just like a slinky.
And I can't wait to just, shout about how great I thought the match was to everybody who always goes, Riho's way too tiny. She's 90 pounds. How could she be champion?
Riho is great in the same way Marco Stunt is great because they're tiny.
You know what? Riho is Kenny Omega's daughter, and she is my fucking sister. Okay? You do not disrespect my sister. Yes, that makes Kenny Omega my dad.
Kenny Omega's all our dads. No, Don Callis is all our dads.
Don Callis is all our creepy uncles.
I thought that was Chris Jericho.
Hey.
But speaking of Kenny Omega, Don Callis, and the whatnot, we have a lights out unsanctioned match. So realistically, we shouldn't even talk about it. End of the show. But no.
Yeah, goodbye.
No. Oh, no. This was Kenny Omega and Kenta versus Jon Moxley and the Murder Hawk Lance Archer. Who boy, lights out, falls count anywhere, unsanctioned, all that kind of stuff. And goddamn,
I love that they actually let Kenta do his entrance. They actually gave him his New Japan entrance. That was really cool.
I think it's part of hey, Kenta's we're doing a match. Can you give us all the art assets for Kenta? Sweet.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
But goddamn, this fucking match.
I love how just the moment the match starts, everybody's like, all right, who gives a fuck about tag rules?
I mean, there's no DQs.
Yeah.
Just fucking fight each other.
Just insane brawling all over the place. They actually spend a good bit of time in the ring, but they get outside. They fucking destroy Peter Avalon's bed. And there's they fight back to the kitchen. Do you think that was pre-recorded, the kitchen fight?
I think the kitchen fight part was, but pre-recorded as in 3 hours before the match.
Yeah.
It wasn't done yesterday, you know. It was
a rest spot / give them time to get in position to come out of the tunnel.
Yeah. It was a good. Those were some good spots. Even though you could see the referee holding the wheelie tables together so they could do the spot, but there's certain things I loved that I love to point out in wrestling, but it's fine. It's noticing the strings in an old 50s B movie. You learn to accept it.
But then there's also the thing that everybody was talking about of literal spuds, literal potatoes being thrown. And I was like, yeah, that's great, but I kept expecting Mox to take a bite out of it. There's that spot where he potatoes Kenny out of screen, and then he throws the potato up and catches it in his hand and looks at the camera, and I'm like, take a bite out of it. Take a bite out of it right now. That would be so perfect. And he just tosses it out of camera.
It's probably because here's the thing, it's from a box of potatoes, it probably still had dirt on it.
Yeah. But I'm like, it's Mox. He's a big tough guy who doesn't care about anything. Of course he'd do that.
Yeah. And he'd always spit it out.
Yeah.
But no, a lot of those moments were good. They just fucking destroyed 2 refrigerators.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter because it's all Tony Khan's money.
Yeah. But then they come back out. They're fucking fighting around the ring. They tease a table spot so fucking hard. And eventually...
They tease an out. Has there ever been an announced table spot in AEW yet?
No. Yes, they didn't have that. They teased an announce table. tonight, but they haven't done an announce table. They've done a timekeeper's table spot.
Okay. Yeah.
They've done a couple timekeepers.
Like, they got very close to that, and there's this hilarious visual of like all the old men standing behind Excalibur while he's going like, and he's trying to still call the match.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. Especially because you just see Jim Ross and like Tony Schiavone go like, nope, we've dealt with this too many times. Fuck this shit.
And Don Callis is like, what are they doing to my boy?
And Excalibur trying to call the match is great. But all the while, I can't remember who setting... it was Kenny Omega setting up Jon Moxley on the Timekeeper's table. No, it was Lance Archer. No, yes, it was Kenny Omega. I don't know what...
Somebody was setting up Mox on the Timekeeper's table.
And then Kenta gets loose from... that's what it is. Kenny Omega was setting up Jon Moxley on the Timekeeper's table. Lance Archer had Kenta in some kind of hold. Kenta got loose, ran, pew, jumped, double foot stomp onto fucking Jon Moxley on the table. Boom. And it's just like, god damn.
And the table did that thing where it kind of breaks, but it stays in one piece and just tips over.
And it just looks like, oh, you took all of that. You took all of that. There was no give.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
And eventually they get back to the ring, and there's some light fighting between everybody. And then Jake the Snake tries to get involved for like 10 seconds before the Good Brothers come out and just demolish him, and then start beating up on Lance Archer. And Moxley gets his barbed wire bat for a split second, but then they beat him up. And then they do an assisted one-winged angel on Lance Archer to win the match.
Yep.
Crazy, crazy shit.
But the people who are in the match for New Japan, neither of them officially won or lost. So New Japan's happy. They still get to go like, oh, who's going to win kind of thing. But it builds up hype for that. So everybody's happy there. This was just a fun, big, goofy match. And apparently New Japan World is going to replay it for Japanese audiences.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you see the interview segment that went up on YouTube?
From New Japan Strong?
No, it's after the match, and they're doing like a reporter press conference thing of the Good Brothers and Kenny and Don. And a reporter asked Kenny, like, hey, amazing match, but don't you feel like that victory's a little tainted because the Good Brothers were involved? And what's with all this heat you got going on with the Bullet Club and all this? And Kenny's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And Don Callis is like, let's clear the air real quick and just say, like, hey, Brother Switchblade, Tama, don't worry, guys. We love you. We love everybody. We're not trying to start beef with anybody. Hey, fans out there, we know you love the Bullet Club. You want this to be the Bullet Club. We're kind of doing our own thing, but it's also kind of the Bullet Club. Help out the real Bullet Club a little bit. Try and get them back into the top 40 on Pro Wrestling Tees. And let's all be nice and let's all buy some merch. Everybody go buy some merch and see you later.
Goddamn. Yeah. I can't wait when flight restrictions are gone and everything's kind of on the upswing, and Tama Tonga fucking busts in on AEW. Going like, all right, where are you bitches at? Fuck all y'all. Fuck you for enabling them.
I know they probably would want to make it a Dynamite thing, but I just really want, once the vaccine's available to everybody, just do like a normal BT segment with the Bucks where they're like talking to the Good Brothers or something, and then just all of a sudden Tama walks in and they're like, and he's like, the fuck you doing? Why are you wearing those shirts? The fuck's going on here? It's what I thought. You be in that ring on Wednesday. Which one of us? All of you. It's like, especially because I don't know if you've ever seen him on BTE, but he had literally a free episode reoccurring segment where just like, for a couple random episodes, he had this gimmick where he was like the big gossip in the Bullet Club in Japan. And like, there's literally this one segment where he's like, "Gotta get some gossip, boys. I gotta get some gossip for the boys." And he's, "Oh hey, young bucks, what's going on with you and Kenny and Cody?" Because there was a thing with Kenny and Cody at the time. And that devolves into a whole thing, and he's like, "Oh, that's great," and then he immediately runs off and starts talking to another Bullet Club guy about it.
Great.
So like, to take him from that goofy character to fucking pissed off dad would be great.
Oh man, triple threat: Young Bucks, Good Bros, Tama Tonga with evil.
Mm-hmm. Or just straight up Gorillas of Destiny.
Oh yeah, God. Mm. So much you can do.
Oh, dude, Excalibur and Don Callis name dropped Suzuki Gun during the main event.
Oh yeah, because they were going like, "Oh yeah, no, Lance Archer was a member of Suzuki Gun."
So good.
Oh yeah, like no, it's just full on. No, New Japan's a thing. We're gonna talk about it when it's relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like
Penta. We're gonna use him as much as we possibly can until they need him back in Japan.
I mean, what else is Kenta gonna do? Go wrestle for NXT?
Could you imagine if like they just start a system of like, all right, we put Kenta up against everybody that makes sense. We're gonna send him back to you. Can you send us Hiroshi Tanahashi? No. How about Tama Tonga? Yeah, sure. And they just start trading guys.
Oh yeah. Hey, who in our roster would you like to see for a while? Can we get Luchasaurus? We haven't had him. Japan loves big white boys. Yeah, you can borrow Luchasaurus for a bit. Hey, do you want Jungle Boy and Marco? Yeah, we haven't really had something like that in New Japan. Let's have all three of them.
All right, give us Evil, and give us Tama. And
can we have Suzuki for one pay-per-view?
Yes,
one pay-per-view? One pay-per-view?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, can we have him for also, like, can we do a couple, like, small interview segments? Nothing major, huge, no big angles, but, like, to kind of set something up? Yeah, we can do that with Suzuki. Who are you going to have him fight? Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Can we have Jushin Thunder Liger? He's retired. Yeah, we just want him to manage somebody.
We just want him to be like there because he's fun.
We just want to put him in the crowd.
Yeah, imagine just one day Jushin Thunder Liger's standing right next to fucking the Gun Club and he's just going like, yeah.
Jushin Thunder Liger, freaking Hiroshi Fujita of wrestling.
Oh man. Okada though.
What's the guy who Eye Patch Wolf described as like a spider?
Ospreay?
No, with like the weird haircut.
Oh yeah.
And he tried to destroy Liger.
Naito?
That doesn't feel right.
We'll figure it out later.
Whoever he is, I want to see him in a program against Cody Rhodes. But I don't think they did that in Japan, and I think that would be amazing.
But like, do something with like Okada going like, I fought everybody in New Japan. I don't have the belt right now. I'm going to go over to America because I know I'm better than everyone there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Okada versus MJF.
Oh man. Or no, he just walks in and goes, "Yo, emo twink, I want your belt."
God damn, there's so many good things you can do now, and that's forgetting that they still work with Impact and AAA. Man. God damn.
Exciting times, man. God damn. We just need this fucking pandemic to go away.
Hey, if it wasn't for this pandemic, we wouldn't be having this right now.
That's true. But once it's over, we can kick that into high gear, and we could maybe, I don't know, have the fucking Modular Summit actually.
God damn. Imagine there's the super cards we can get. All the shit. Mm-hmm. But that was MMWP. That was Dynamite this week. So why don't you tell the crowd some shit about yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I am a YouTube video making person. However, I am currently on hiatus, so you can't expect any new works from me at the moment. But you can check out my back catalog at youtube.com/user/thevacuuminator. That is spelled TheVacuuminator. You can also keep up with me on social media. I'm on Twitter at the Vacuuminator. I just tweet random thoughts and feelings about things whenever I have something I think is slightly clever or insightful to say. And I'm also on Instagram. I do action figure photography. I try to post a new photo every workday at lunch. So you can find me on at @the_vacuuminator on Instagram for stuff like that.
Hey, howdy, I'm Chris Boingo Writer Gaston. You can find me on YouTube at Boingo Writer. I do video essay editorials on a bunch of different variety of subjects. You can follow me on Twitter. I post nonsensical, surreal shit posts at Boingo_Writer. The best way you can ever describe it is that one Breaking Bad meme that you always post underneath some of my fucking jokes of going like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I like that I did that one time, and now it's like the legendary thing I do to you on Twitter.
It makes sense, though.
Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, real quick sidetrack. I was listening to AEW Unrestricted Wardlow episode the other day, and apparently, back when they were traveling, him and Preston Vance went to a strip club one time.
Okay.
And now that's like a legendary story in the locker room, and like they're known as the guys who go to the strip club every week, even though they only did it one time.
Okay. But that's me on Twitter. If you want to follow me there, it's Boingo_Writer. Same thing on Instagram, Boingo_Writer. And as always, you can join my Discord server. A link to that is in the description. Hey, join. Talk to us about toys and wrestling and other things that we talk about.
Yeah.
As always, subscribe, like this video, subscribe to Modular Media, and comment. Tell us what you thought about wrestling this week, what you'd want to see next week, and give us a comment on who would win Layla Hirsch versus Nyla Rose.
Big Swole.
Big Swole would win that for no reason. Okay, cool. But I need to piss. You need to sleep. So till next week, bye-bye. I went to your camera by accident. Hold on.